Hi everyone, so today I am going to fill this frame from IKEA. It's the Reba frame, and the size I'm going to work with is it says 13 by 13 centimeters, but in actual fact it's about 12.5, and I'm going to try and sketch my son's first sneakers, or those soft sole sneakers. He had quite a few, but those were his favorite, and they're really pretty. They're sort of like a dark navy with like a glitter in them, so they're super cute, and I want to keep them in our memory and put it into the frame. And I got inspired to do this by Hazel Sohn, and in her book The Essence of Watercolor, which I have a full review. If I won't forget, I'll try to put a link in the description for you. And so this is the illustration she has done, and I have attempted something similar. I tried to kind of create a similar piece that she did with these colors. It wasn't that successful, so today I'm not going to try and copy her style. I just will go with my own gut feeling and my own style, but this is just to tell you where the initial thought came from, because I think it's very adorable. These are very kind of loose, or they have a loose sense about them. I think mine probably won't be as loose, just because I think I will end up using my fountain pen for detailing. So that is what I'm going to do today. So let me change things around and come back to the actual drawing part. Okay, so I'm thinking of the composition for this one, and I don't think I want them to be just one next to the other, because it looks a little bit too rigid. What I quite like is sort of this look, a little bit more kind of like a wonky. It almost looks like one footsteps ahead of the other, and essentially he was learning to walk in these shoes. So I think that is a nice thought to put in the sketching. So I'm going to use an HB pencil. This is a Tombow Mono. Nothing particularly amazing about this pencil. I just bought a bunch of these different pencils from Amazon if you're interested. But let's start with the drawing. Now, the reason I'm going to use a pencil is because I'm not really confident drawing sneakers. I think you have to get the right perspective, and I'm not really great at it. So I'm just kind of trying to establish the right shape, and I'll try to hold my pencil loosely to give me that kind of more of a loose sort of shape. And then so that's the front bit of it, and I am trying to the most part just to enjoy the drawing of this, and obviously it brings up a lot of memories holding these Snickers. So yeah, it's a very nice feeling. So I'm just going to kind of outline these bits here and start off with a more or less accurate drawing, which I hope will then give me that sense of better finished look. So there's a little bit of a trim that goes all the way around the sneaker, like so. And I think that's as detailed probably as I would like it to be. So this bit is a bit too wonky. So I'm going to take my pen tool, erase pen, and just correct a few lines. I'm going to go over and try to take most of these pencil marks out. So this is pointing that way, and this one is going to be the same shoe, but just slightly more to this side, and obviously getting them to the same scale is what I will struggle with. So round about here probably is what we're looking at, and I think I might actually hide it behind that one. So I'm just going to do the same thing here with the laces. I'm thinking of adding a bit of gold just because I've been into it lately with the watercolor as a detail for these hoops here that are holding the shoelaces. So I might do that and then just go around like so. How are you doing, Mason?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Well done. Mason has this thing currently where he likes to strip off his clothes and just basically run around just in his nappy. It's one of those phases we're going through at the moment. So then I'm going to put this loop through at the back, which is around about here, and something is missing. I think just this bit here, just to where the hill goes in. I don't want it to look just flat, so I think so. That's as precise as I'd like to go, really. And then now I'm going to do what I usually do, just try and take off most of these pencil lines, just because once the watercolor hits it, and that's it, they are stuck there. And because there's quite a bit of white, I don't want this to be a distraction, even though I'm planning to add detail with my ink fountain pen later on, so it's not that bad, but I don't want the pencil to be too much present. Okay, so I'm going to use my portable painter, and the list of all the watercolors in here you can see down in the description. Alright, so where was I? Basically, I am thinking of using the Cobalt Blue from QoR because it's a wonderful color that gives really interesting mixing properties. So obviously it's a dark colored sneaker with white in there, so it shouldn't be too complicated to mix it up. And I'm also thinking, actually, and I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm not sure if you would have seen this palette I have made up here by the time that this video is coming out, but anyways, in here, one of the colors is Iridescent Scarab Red, I believe. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. And it's this gorgeous duochrome. It's by Daniel Smith. It's a beautiful watercolor. It's like a browny kind of pinky or muted sort of pinky color, like a Potter's pink with this stunning green iridescence. So I'm going to bring that into here, and that is going to transform our color. I have been playing with this color, mixing it with others, and it's just doing something really magical. Where am I showing this? So I hope you can see the shimmer it's adding, and it's really, really pretty. So I'm going to start by trying to look at the sneaker and establish the shade of it, and work that way. So I'm just trying to avoid the white area, obviously, and the very dark trimming, which will be just what's it called? I'll probably just go in with the Indanthrone blue being the darkest color, and then in the hope of leaving some of the light colors, I'm just going to do this. It's such a pretty color mixing it. I actually haven't seen many people review this, the shimmery gorgeousness, here on YouTube, so I went through my dot card and thought, why don't I try this color and see how it is? And I ordered it, and I was really happy to get it. So it's doing something really nice, and I'm just going to continue. So all of this is quite dark, obviously, and at the moment I'm just creating a wash, which I then can go in and do something on top if I need to. But for the minute I'm just trying to keep the dark colors and the light colors, and that's all that there is to it. So the white bit I will leave as it is, and then hopefully I can mix this color up again for the other sneaker. It's just so gorgeous. It works with so many different colors. It's unbelievable. So again, the darkest part would be here. Okay, so I have used my heat gun, and I just wanted to show you how beautiful this iridescence is. So look around this area here, and when I'm going to move it, you can see this beautiful green iridescence, and it just is so beautifully kind of mixed in with the watercolor, where it's not really hindering the actual watercolor, but it's adding a little bit of a interesting element to it. So now what I'm going to do is, in essence, I'm going to mix up more of a darker color. So pretty much Indanthrone blue almost on its own, and quite a bit of this beautiful duochrome Iridescent Scarab Red. It's an interesting name, I haven't come across it before. So immediately it goes into this beautiful color. It quite literally has become one of my favorite colors. Okay, so I'm just going to go on top where I want it to be darker still, and just do basically the same thing, but just trying to think this probably should be blue as well. And I'm just going to touch it in with a clean brush just a little to make it flow like so. There's a lot going on here because I had some pink in there, so I'm just actually going to go into this one next to it, and then again into the iridescent, and then try to, where I can see the watercolor pretty much dry, I'm just going to do the trimming of the shoe, which goes all the way around. And if it's going to touch some of the areas, I suppose I'll be okay with it, just because it probably will create something interesting. I'm just checking if I'm recording, because it happened to me a couple of times now where I thought I was recording, but in fact did not. It's always good to have a little check. So at the moment it's starting to get a little bit confusing here, and I guess this is where my trusty old fountain pen will serve the purpose of adding detail. Probably leave it at this, and there's a little part here which I don't like much, so I'm just going to darken it up. And the other thing is that I need to do is the lace, so I think I'm going to wait for this to dry and then I'm going to do the laces. So with the laces I'm going to use this very same watercolor, but I'm thinking actually I'm not going to add any of the iridescent color just because I want it to be quite crisp. So it's pretty straight forward. It's just a blue little kind of elastic band that goes like that, and then there are the metal hoops that this elastic goes into. So that I probably will add the gold into, even though in reality they're silver, but I don't really like silver too much in watercolor, unless they're on a darker background, which you can see here I left it white, so it won't really work. And then anything that won't still be standing out and will need some extra detailing, I suppose I could correct it with the fountain pen. But at the moment I really like the style of it without the fountain pen, so it's always a question whether you leave it like that or whether you risk it and take it slightly further. So that's literally all I'm doing. I don't want to leave too big of these white gaps for the hoops, so I'm just going to do that, and I think that should be enough. So we kind of can see what this is. It's starting to take shape. We can see these are Snickers, but of course the trouble that I have at the minute is that the white it needs to have some sort of lining out. Now, like I said, it may help if I go with a fountain pen, or it may ruin it, but we'll see. So looking at my gold, this is the QoR M600 palette by Finetec. Beautiful golds, my favorite gold palette. I quite like this moon gold because it's a cool toned kind of white champagne-like gold. So I think it would look really nice with what we have here already. So I'm just going to take a size 1 brush and just add a couple of drops of water onto the pen right here, which I can't see, but hopefully you can see it now. So I'm just activating the watercolor. With metallic watercolors you always need to give them a little bit of time, because otherwise if you just start straight away the concentration of the pigment won't be as strong, so you need to really work into it. It takes very little time to do that. So I'm just going to draw these metal bits here in, and they should not stand out too much, so I'm not putting too much emphasis here, but they should be a nice little addition like that. So I'm making them fairly thin as I go, like this. I hope you can see when I'm tilting it to the light. We'll see all of that later anyway. Okay, so basically, nervously, I've got my fountain pen ready just because I don't want to ruin things. I'm really happy with the detailing here, which just looks so good to me. And I love this. Look at this gorgeousness. It's just stunning. So yeah, I love this detailing here, but I do need to add something to the white to kind of make it stand out. So just a little bit of detailing, not letting the fountain pen take over, but more the case of letting it add something that we need. So these loops are highlighted. I think I will leave it at that. I think it looks quite nice. Just connecting it like so. I don't know if I want to outline this part of the shoe or not. I think I will leave it like that actually. Now, when we think about the background of these, it looks quite nice on a white background, but so I've done this off camera after I finished filming, and I just thought something was missing, and I kind of contemplated adding the shadow element all around, scattered a little bit, but I thought, like I said, that would be just too much. So I decided to add the shadow kind of behind the two shoes, and that way it looks so much better and really kind of finished. And also what I've done is I've used Payne's Grey, which is kind of like a bluish grey, but still it's not the blue that's mixed in these colors here, and that works beautifully. Just a little bit of it, and what a big difference it makes. So I just wanted to come in and show you what it looks like with a bit of a shadow, just finished and more. It creates more depth, and actually it pushes the shoes towards us, so it makes it more kind of in the foreground really. So yeah, that is it from us. Thanks for watching and see you soon.